Down or up? What is up guys, welcome back to my channel. Excuse the state of my nails, they're disgusting, I know. But today I'm doing a pregnancy Q&A. So I did a little Instagram question box thing and had some questions come in. Some of them were pretty similar, so I've just sort of put them into one. So question one is, how far gone are you? So I'm currently, I will be 25 weeks on Saturday. My due dates have changed slightly, but so 25 weeks will go off what I think is right and from when I know that I ovulated and conceived. So I'll be 25 weeks on Saturday the 15th of January. So yeah, in a few days. 25 weeks, which is going so quickly, which is really scary. Question two, who did you tell first? I'd like to say it was Tony, but it wasn't. It was just really weird the way that it all happened. I kind of knew that I was pregnant like straight away. Probably, I think I've got a message that I sent to my mum saying I think I'm pregnant, and it was like way before, about a week before when I was due on my period. And the day that I found out, so I'd been out to lunch with my grandma and my cousin, and then the whole time I was like, I need to know, because I think I was due on my period that day. And then as soon as I got home I just went and got a test. And as I got back to mine, my mum came to my front door and knocked on the door. And so I was like, can you just stay here a sec? And then obviously I did the test, it came up literally instantly. And then, yeah, so she was there with me when I did it. So mum was the first person to tell, and then I text Tony straight away saying, when are you coming home? We need to talk. So he thought he was in trouble. But then obviously I told him when we got back, which in a way I kind of wish that I'd filmed the reaction just so that we've got that as memories, but I didn't, so yeah. So he found out second to my mum. Question three, a lot of people have asked this. Was it planned? It wasn't not planned, basically. I'd come off contraception quite a long time ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was not long after Tony and I met, I decided to come off contraception just because I wanted to do like a more natural cycle. So I was tracking my ovulation for a good 2 years, and it was like on the ball every single time. And then the one time, obviously, we had sex during ovulation and I literally fell pregnant straight away. But I always said to him, I was like, I know that I just have this feeling that I will get pregnant straight away if we do it during ovulation, and then that happened. So yeah, so the answer is it wasn't necessarily planned, but it definitely wasn't not planned in a way, if that makes sense. We knew when I was ovulating, and then we weren't actively trying to stop it happening. So, how many kids do you want? I think I need to actually do like a proper sit down video with Tony so that he can sort of introduce himself and we can answer questions together as a couple. But Tony actually already has a daughter. She's 17, she'll be 18 this year. So Tony had her obviously 17 years ago. And he's always said that he'd quite happily have a football team of children. I've always pictured myself with 2 kids, ideally a boy and a girl, but providing they're healthy, then I'd be more than happy. But yeah, I'd love to try for at least one more after this one. But we'll see, when the baby's here I might change my mind totally on that. I just don't know. I've literally got no idea what to expect. Have you had many symptoms? So like I said, early stages, I just had this thing, I just knew in my head that I was pregnant. My boobs were really sore, like really sore. They felt like they were just gonna burst. They felt like they were on fire. so that was very, very painful. I'm actually going to try and insert a screenshot of the message that I sent to my mum, and that would have been about a week before I was due on my period. So I definitely knew something. And then, other than that, I think I hit 6 weeks pregnant, and I started to feel a little bit nauseous. My appetite went, and that lasted for 3 weeks, so 6 to 9 weeks. I didn't actually throw up at any point. I just felt pretty sick for most of the day and didn't really want to eat much. So from the start, I've obviously had in my head I want to eat super healthy, do what I can for the baby, but then I hit sort of that 6 to 9 week period and I just couldn't really stomach much, so I was just focused on eating whatever I could that made me not want to vomit everywhere. So yeah, I ate things like soup noodles, toast, just like plain carby foods like that. Are you planning a natural birth? Yes, definitely. So we actually started hypnobirthing last night, which was a really, really good session. So we've got four weeks of that booked in. It was really weird actually. Before I got pregnant, I was always absolutely terrified of giving birth, and then as soon as I got pregnant, like the fear just went. It was like really, really bizarre feeling, but I think you just do what you can. When you've got like this little human growing inside of you, you just have so much love for it already that you just do what you can to make sure that that baby's okay. I'm getting all emotional. Yeah, you just do what you can, and you just think to yourself, so what if I'm going through a little bit of pain? You just do what you can for your baby. But yeah, like I said, we started hypnobirthing last night, which I've heard really, really good things about. So I'm really excited to like finish the course and hope that will help massively when giving birth. Do I have any tips on the getting pregnant part or being pregnant? We'll go on like being pregnant. Obviously I'm nearly 25 weeks. So in my first trimester, I wish that I'd started wearing more supportive bras. Being honest, I never used to wear bras anyway, and then obviously they literally doubled in size from the moment that I got pregnant, and I've already started getting stretch marks and they're really, really heavy and really sore. So I just wish I'd started wearing bras a lot sooner, like supportive bras. And also I'm now wearing like a sports bra to sleep in as well, just like a really soft one, just so that they've got like a little bit of support, so they're not like in the middle of the night, you know. Obviously I'm like moisturising the hell out of my skin. I'm putting like liquid collagen on as well, bio oil, coconut oil. I try and like mix it up because I don't know which one's going to be the best one, so I feel like using a bit of everything is giving me the best possible chance at keeping my skin nice and moisturised. Pregnancy pillow is a must. One of my friends actually gave me her pregnancy pillow. I can't remember how many weeks I was, but probably started using it around 22 weeks. I wish I'd started using that sooner because it's literally like you're having a warm hug constantly all night. It's so nice. But I'm actually at the point now where I physically can't sleep on my side because it causes me that much pain in my hips. So I'm sleeping on an angle like that. So I've got like thousands of pillows under my head and back to keep me elevated in the night, because when you're pregnant you're not allowed to lie flat on your back because it suppresses, I think this is right, it suppresses the vena cava, which can cause like a lack of blood flow to the fetus. Please don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. So I just know that you're not allowed to lie flat on your back, so I've been having to lie at a 45-degree angle in bed, which isn't the greatest, and I've still got like 3-4 months to go, but you do what you can. When did you start showing I'd say quite late actually, I think. I've got pictures, let me have a look. Right, so this was me at 19 weeks and yeah. Which you can see it's still a pretty small bump, but at that point, like, I'd look like that in the evening, and then in the morning there'd literally not be much of a bump at all. So I think a lot of that was like water and whatever. So yeah, that was 19 weeks, which is quite late I suppose, and still quite a small bump for that. But they say like with your first one, especially if you've got strong core muscles, because obviously going to the gym and stuff, my core muscles are going to be a little bit stronger. The stronger your core muscles are, the less of a bump you'll have, especially with your first one, because the muscles are harder to stretch, I think. And then obviously with your second one and your third one, and the more babies you have, the earlier you start to show. I feel like the past 2-3 weeks I have literally ballooned. Let me get up now and show you my bump now. Past like 2-3 weeks I've definitely popped. I can definitely feel myself getting bigger by the day, which is nice to actually get past the point of looking like I've eaten too much. So I actually feel like I look pregnant now, which is nice. Do you have any cravings? I actually don't have any, which I am kind of really sad about. I kind of did want like a crazy food craving, but I just don't. I'm still eating relatively healthy. I don't beat myself up if I don't. Like I wouldn't avoid getting a takeaway or a McDonald's just because I'm pregnant. If I want something then I'll have it, but obviously at the same time I am eating healthily anyway. Have you chosen a name? We do have a name in mind. We're not telling anyone obviously, but yeah, we have an idea of a name. So whether that actually sticks or not, who knows. Are you still working out? I'm trying to do like the odd bit in the gym. Obviously as well, I've got 3 horses that I look after, so that keeps me very active. And I go to the gym occasionally. I'm obviously not going anywhere near as what I used to go, but yeah, I'm still working out. Obviously I'm doing much lighter weights and it's much less intense than what it would be normally. If you're pregnant and you're not sure whether to work out or not, definitely get advice from a doctor or your midwife, because everyone's different and working out might not be good for you. It might be really good for you. Obviously I've been working out for like 10 years. My body's used to it. What sort of foods are you eating? I've kind of already mentioned. Just probably like what I'd normally eat, like a lot of sort of fish, meat, veg. Before, when it comes to like snacking and stuff like that, I'd only do so much, whereas now if I feel hungry then I'll definitely eat, and probably eat some more. So I'm definitely eating a little bit more than what I usually would. I don't necessarily feel hungrier though, which is odd, and I also find that I feel full a lot quicker than what I usually would. I think that's probably to do with like just so much room being taken up down there, and if I eat too much I can like feel it in my throat coming back out. So I've been trying to eat little and often and snacking lots, which is nice. How's your mental health? To be honest, again, I think I've been really lucky with this one, and touch wood, pregnancy hasn't seemed to have affected my mental health that too much. I've kind of remained on a steady playing field. Tony might disagree with that. I think especially during like the early stages of pregnancy, I definitely have like a shorter temper. and I would snap a lot easier than what I normally would, so takes a lot to sort of push me to argue or answer back or anything like that. Whereas now, if something annoys me, I do snap quite quickly. Or, well, that was more at the early stages of pregnancy. I think I would say I'm a little bit more chilled out now. So whether that was like the weather or whatever, whether that's to do with pregnancy or not, I don't know. But yeah, if anything, if my like moods change slightly, it's really just the change in the way I respond to different things, if anything. Yeah. Other than that, my mental health's pretty good at the moment. I have obviously days, but doesn't everyone, where I feel like a little bit down or a little bit lost. Definitely have days where I feel a little bit anxious or overwhelmed, like overthinking everything, but I don't necessarily put that down to pregnancy because I was quite a lot like that before. On a whole, it's been great. Yeah, in general, I'm really happy and really excited. Honestly, like, so full of love. And it's crazy to just think that, like, I don't know, 3 years ago I would be in this situation now and just have met like the most amazing person, and this is all going to happen. That is the last question. I'm going to end this video, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions, please feel free to message me or drop a comment below. I love you so much.